I have an itch to scratch, and it can only be soothed if I tell you about some of my favorite underrated bags by Coach. I love Coach. What I consider to be my very first designer bag was actually a Coach bag. It was a Coach Marlowe turnkey lock bag. I kind of spoke about it here before, but it was my entry into luxury. I found it to be one of the most luxurious bags that I ever had at that point in time, and it really opened my eyes to the possibility of the type of handbag collection I would have. And so I'm really happy that Coach is finally, or once again, getting its flowers for being that girl, that mid luxury brand that's offering some of the most luxurious, best quality, best bang for your buck bags. And whilst I agree that they're very popular bags right now, like the Empire Carryall or the Brooklyn bag, these are iconic bags. I think there are so many other bags that are not raved about enough, and I'm going to bring 5 of them to your attention because I think they deserve to be on your wish list and definitely in your collections. First up is their Brook flap chain bag, which I think is the love child of an East-West and a classic box bag style. Both are styles that I love and I think that are kind of popular right now as well, but nothing to me like a good, classic, simple looking bag in a black and gold hardware. Well, for Coach, they tend to use more of a brass hardware, which I think is what really makes them, as a mid-luxury brand, have some of the more luxurious looking bags because it's more of an understated kind of hardware. Sometimes gold and gold-plated hardware can look a little bit too yellow and it makes it look a little bit cheap. So I think their use of brass hardware really elevates a lot of their bags, including this bag. I love the simple design, as I said before. I love that it has dual strap options that are removable, so you can wear it adjustable crossbody. There's also this chain strap that you could wear over your shoulder that makes the bag look a little bit more formal, a little bit more classy. And I also think it's a decent bag to wear as a clutch if you wanted to wear it as a clutch. They have it in other colors like chalk, which is closer to like an off-white. I love it in the peach version. They have their classic maple and their monogrammed maple if you're not afraid of that. But I think the design of the bag overall is pretty minimalistic. There is a C logo on it, but I think it's so subtle that this is perfect for those people who were really oohing and gooing over the quiet luxury period. I think that this is a very simple, classic looking bag that deserves more attention. Number 2 is their Chelsea shoulder bag, which is a laid back sophistication. That's how they describe it, and that's exactly what I see. This is a classic shoulder carry bag. It does not have an adjustable strap. I think that's sort of the only drawback, but I think the shoulder drop, the strap drop length is pretty decent. I think it would be comfortable, especially if you're wearing this even through the winter months when you have like bigger coats. I think it's still pretty decent. I think this is definitely going to be a bag that I'll purchase because I love the fact that it is along the lines of the bags that we're loving right now. If you've seen my video on the Balenciaga Rodeo, you know that this kind of the silhouette of bags we're going for, a slight bit of a slouch but still a very classic, clean, chic looking style, and I think that's what the Chelsea bag here does by Coach. And I also love the fact that it also holds a decent amount. I've seen a few reviews on this bag and I've seen people putting so many different daily use items in this bag. Everything that I would want in my bag, everything that I would need in my bag definitely would fit in this bag. And I also like, again, that here the logo is there, but it's very subtle. It's not screaming loudly in your face. And I also love the interior. I think this is either a suede lined interior or kind of like a faux suede. And I appreciate that type of interior over a cloth interior, but I do think there's some that might have cloth. I think like the internal pockets probably, but nonetheless, this is what I love for a very simple shoulder bag. Number 3 is also another bag in a relatively popular style right now, and it's their barrel bag. I think this kind of cylindrical shaped bag became popular when the Row put out their 90s bag. It's not totally cylindrical, but I've been seeing a lot of other brands taking somewhat of an inspiration from this and putting out their versions of the cylindrical bags. And I'm loving the version by Kate. It's very classy, very gorgeous. I also saw Provenza Schooler has one under their white label, and I also love that. But I don't totally love this style of bag so much that I would invest that much into these types of bags, but I would definitely get a version like this from Coach. It's pretty much the same silhouette, and I see other people getting versions from Amazon or other places where you can get dupes, but I think Coach's version is pretty decent. It's well priced, it's well constructed. I love the different colors as well here. There is the option to do it crossbody, and I think you can wear it with a shorter strap, and I'm always going to appreciate this level of functionality, duality, whatever it is you want to call it, in a bag. And I think that if you are loving this style and you don't necessarily want to go for a dupe, but you're also like me, not willing to invest the Rose 90s $1,000+ you will definitely be able to get your fix with this bag. I think we're at number 4 now, and this is a bag that I think was Coach's hero bag before the Empire Carryall took the handbag world by storm. There was the Coach Rogue. The Coach Rogue bag, I think, is probably Coach's best bag, and they've made several reiterations of this over the years. It's a classic bag. It's been around for a while, but I think this is one of the absolute best bags ever created by any brand. This is the bag for the working diva, and we see a lot of the working divas popping up here or there with their Coach Rogue bag. And with the latest version of it, they have definitely put a lot of work into improving the bag. There are different additions to the different compartments, different closures, all of that, making the bag not only gorgeous but very functional, and as I said, very intentionally done, that those people who had previous versions of the bags and have upgraded to this version have definitely been impressed with the upgrade. And you can also tell that this is definitely one of their better bags based on the price point and the fact that this is one of the bags that they do make in their exotic materials. So you can actually get the Coach Rogue bag in alligator, like genuine alligator. They have it up to, I think, $8,000, $10,000, and I prefer the tinier version. There's a 20 and a 25. They are stunning. They're gorgeous. A lot of them were limited edition, one of ones, very hard to get. So these are definitely wish list bags, and I just don't hear a lot of people talk enough about this bag, and I think these are also great bags to get on the pre-loved market. So look out for them. And I also want to say, like, the smaller version, which I said is like my go-to, what I would definitely love, it kind of looks similar to, or has the shape of the Dior, the Lady Dior, which we know is a classic style, a classic bag, and also kind of like a crossover with the Saint Laurent Sac de Jour, which we all know is one of my favorite bags. So that's probably why I'm leaning more towards this, and I would encourage you to do the same. Number 5 is kind of a double whammy. They're 2 different bags, 2 completely different category of bags, but they kind of function in the same way to fulfill the same outcome, which is that they are dupes to very popular higher end luxe bags. So this one is a trail bag, which is sort of like a vanity case, and then this one is their plaza bag. So for the trail bag, I think it's functioning as an amazing dupe for a vanity case that Louis Vuitton has right now. I don't know if Louis Vuitton calls it a vanity bag, but it's a really tiny bag. It can barely hold anything. They're basically just holds lipstick, and I think it retails for about $800. Everyone is loving this bag. I think it's like the cutest little thing. It's really cute, but I just can't imagine paying almost $1,000 for something like that, okay? But Coach has their trail bag, which is very similar. It's literally a dupe, in my opinion, to the trail bag, and I think it looks a little bit better. It has a little bit more space in terms of width, I think, but I think it's also shorter, and overall I think it's just a worthy opponent to the little Louis Vuitton bag. Even though, I mean, if you give me $1,000, I'll probably buy that Louis Vuitton bag, but just know that they can't hold much. They can't hold phones. They're probably going to be able to hold, based on what I see with the Coach trail bag, it holds like a card case, lippies, keys. That's pretty much it. But the Louis Vuitton bag, I don't think holds anything more. So it's definitely worth looking into the Coach bag. Then the other bag, which is a plaza bag, I think is perfect to replace the Louis Vuitton pochette accessoire. You remember how that bag had all of us in a chokehold? It's just a cute little bag, grab and go bag. I think Louis Vuitton either discontinued it or they discontinued a specific version of it, and I'm just not loving what they have right now. But this holds so much memories of um older days of YouTube when everybody had these, very popular bags and they were showing us all they could fit in it, even though this can't really fit much. But I definitely felt all this nostalgia coming in when I saw this Plaza bag, and it's under $100 if I'm not mistaken, which absolutely amazing. I just think overall Coach is just perfect when it comes to value for money, high quality, and just really fun, exciting bags that are of the moment but are still very much bags that you can see yourself having in the future, not having to fear that it's gonna look outdated. Let me know in the comments if you have any of these bags, if you're hoping to get these bags, how you're feeling about Coach. Until my next video, stay fashionably well and in good health.